evening, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. I am here by myself. James is currently predisposed at the moment. So, you guys get to have me. Yay. Let's see who's up in the show tonight. Let's see. Ritter Truckin'. What's up, James and 18? James is not here. He's been kidnapped. We won't see him. He's held for ransom right now, so we won't be hearing back from him for a little while. John Huntley, good evening. Gents, how you doing? John, how are you doing this evening? Three Rigs and Company, evening. Lance, my Lance Star brother is in the building. Flies being lazy. I apologize, you guys. Let me go ahead and apologize to you guys real quick. I spent the last 20 minutes trying to get my regular whatchamacallit microphone to work, and it just wasn't working. So the last 20 minutes I've been fighting. I ended up just go ahead and pull this thing out instead because what the hey. Hey, Jonah Green says, good evening. Trucker Todd is in the building. Your window is small. Yes, sir. I know I put it that way for a little bit because I wanted you guys to see this banner. This really cool banner that our boy Country had created for us, and I just did this little edit right here because what the hey, right? Looks nice. Country is in the building. Good evening. So Country, what's going on with Brittany, man? I heard you got into a new relationship with Brittany. Tell us all about it, man. Let's see. Green Star Logistics is in the building. Good evening, Green Star. How you doing this evening? Let's see. Trucker Todd back in. Say that's better. We can see you now. All right. And finally, we have American Trucker is in the building tonight. Okay. So I got a little bit different show for you guys tonight. Since I'm the one in control here and James is being kidnapped, I thought I might throw a little thingamajig at you guys. So we're gonna get into at least 2 or 3 news articles. I think I have 2 already pulled up here, and on the third one, I have a little bit of a what should I call it? I guess we can get it's a little discussion that we're gonna have about the red flags for a company owner operator in the business today. Okay. Brittany, online dating. Hey, Country man. Listen, last night we were having a blast just watching your live show last night, and all we could all talk about was Brittany. I'm just happy that you're in a new relationship, man. I just want you to share with everybody else. Tell everybody who Linda is, where she's from, and how y'all met. So let's see. Let me first of all, I want you guys to take a look at this. Let me pull this up right here. I'm gonna pull up this video here on I don't know if any of you guys have seen this truck yet, but let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. I think I've seen the ugliest truck ever. And I don't know how to feel about it. I really and truly don't. But take a look. Let's see. Boom. Boom. Pull this right here. Y'all bear with me one moment here. I don't got James to pull everything out while I'm doing it. So here we go. Take a look at this monstrosity, and I want you guys to on this. And as you guys know, I don't have premium YouTube, so there we go.
The easy road didn't get us here. We forged our own way, taking what works and making it work better, breaking through barriers, reinventing wheels, going above and thinking beyond. We are driven by the need to do things differently, because those who drive our trucks drive the standard. This is the new standard. This is the all-new Mack Pioneer. From the very beginning, this truck was designed to challenge the status quo. A sculpted exterior combines inspired bold looks with a sleek aerodynamic profile. The thoughtfully designed driver environment raises the benchmark for comfort. A redesigned powertrain is miles ahead in fuel efficiency. Pioneer's integrated connectivity suite takes uptime to the next level. Drive productivity with included Mack Connect and the new MyMac app. Next generation safety technologies protect the drivers every move. Drive the new standard of long haul. Drive Mack Pioneer.
So, honest opinion, guys. What do y'all think about that truck? Because in my opinion, that's an ugly piece of Volvo if I've ever seen one, man. Like they didn't do anything when I watched the reviews and I watched the in-depth and everything and everybody, they did nothing different from what Volvo did with the truck himself. It's just an ugly piece of shit. Y'all let me know in the comments. I want to know what you guys think about it. Okay? Let's see. Let me go ahead and catch up with some of these comments. Let's see. Green Star Logistics. Send anyone interested in JB Hunt my way. Matter of fact, they're all here. If they're interested in coming on JB Hunt, you guys reach out to Green Star Logistics and let them know that you're interested in coming on over there. Jonah Green says the new one is ugly. Absolutely. My thing about the new the Mack, because they're calling it the Pioneer. Mack Pioneer. What they should have did was extend the cab on the Anthem. The Anthem was an ugly ass shit, but it looks way better than this new stuff that they just brought out here. And to be honest, the Anthem just had a really small cab for being an on-highway truck, and all they had to do was just extend it a little bit, maybe drop the price about $10,000. It would see more of them on the road, to be honest with you guys. Lance Calhoun says, I don't much care about new Volvo looks either. And I agree with you, because the last model was peak Volvo design, in my opinion. Last model Volvo was peak model Volvo, in my opinion, because the new one is just as ugly, it's just as small, and it has less room than the outgoing 860 model. The new 860 model is actually got a same amount of space as the 760, which is crazy to me. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. And third of all, Matt's we just came off of Matt's not even 2 weeks ago. Why was this truck not even in the show itself? That's my biggest question right there. See, let's take another look at let's take a real good look at this thing here. So pretty much this is what they're giving us as a new on-highway truck. And to be honest with you, I think it just has a face only a mother could love. Because if you really look at it, especially with those stupid little tiny little what do they call it? The little camera thing at the top looks like it's trying to be an airplane or a little chicken. It looked like a little chicken wing down there, and then the mirrors are just god awfully too damn small for safety, in my honest opinion. You know, Lance again, Cascadia has the best new looks in my opinion. They didn't do too much with the new Cascadia. You can tell it's still a Cascadia. They pretty much rounded the truck off compared to what what the previous model was. And I think, in my opinion, previous model, the 2025 and before, is peak design for Freightliner, because what they did after that, it just, these trucks are just looking smooth now. They're just getting smooth, and they're not, I get everybody said they're all plastic trucks, but they look a little lethargic, if you ask me, right? But that's the new Mack Anthem right there. Like I said, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. But I am not a fan. Now, The engine, they got a new engine in there called the MP13 versus what they had before in the MT8. It's the same D13 Volvo engine. It's a great engine. It's very quiet. It rides smooth. They did a whole new suspension with an 8 airbag suspension, so it's supposed to even be smoother than what it was previously. So I don't know. Like I said, it has a face only a mother could love. So that's where I'm at with the Mac Anthem right here. No, I'm sorry, Pioneer, not Anthem. The new Mac Pioneer. Let's see. All right, so let's get into another controversy that's going on. Swift has decided to pull a fast one on their drivers by presenting them with a new camera system in their trucks. And full disclosure, I'm on the Swift web's Facebook page because I used to lease over there and I never decided to get off of it because I like, being nosy, I guess. And when it popped up on the Facebook page, I saw it, and the first thing that I asked them was, "Is this inward facing camera?" Which Swift themselves quickly replied back to me and said, "No, it wasn't. It's only driver facing." Which it didn't take them not but 30 minutes later for somebody to disprove this whole lie that they said. Well, technically it's a half truth because somebody posted a picture of what the camera actually sees. It does face outward, it does not face directly backward. It's a 3-camera setup and it's facing both on the side. So technically they can see you, but they can't see you at the same time. They can see the steering wheel, they can see the windshield, they can see out the window. So they can definitely see your hands. So if you are texting or anything of the sorts like that, they're definitely going to be able to see that. So they gave them half privacy. Is what I would call it. I call it half privacy. It's not full privacy. Still got the outward facing, and they got 2 cameras on the side, but they don't have one facing the back of the cab. Lance Calhoun says W9 is gone from what I hear. Yes, this is the last year that you can order a W9. I believe you have until December. And they are having a legacy edition and the standard one. And you can get them in different cab configurations from the studio sleeper down to the day cab. And like I said, they got a legacy version, and then they got the regular W9, and you have until the end of the year to order one. Army Kane is in the building. Good evening, Army Kane. How you doing, man? It's a Super Truck 2 knockoff. You know what? I do see the resemblance. I do see the resemblance with the Super Truck 2, because that's one ugly motherfucker. Though I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Andre C is in the building tonight. Looks like a fucked up duck. I 100% agree with you guys. It's an ugly looking truck, the new Mac Pioneer. And I don't know what else to say about that. But let's get into this article real quick. Let's go ahead and just take a quick read. Knight Swift added Netrodyne dash cams to 15,000 trucks. Knight Swift is adding dash cams from Netrodyne to 15,500 trucks in its fleet. The trucks will be equipped with Netrodyne Driver ID 450 and D215 cameras. Netrodyne will transform the video data from Knight Swift dash cams into actionable safety and efficiency insights. Basically, what that means is that, hey, you know that thing that Prime is doing where you get points and all that stuff with all the safe driving, and then you lose points for, I don't know, maybe rolling too far past the stop sign. That's pretty much what they're doing. They're putting you on a point system right there. By analyzing 100% of driving time, Driver Eye proactively enhances safety through real-time in-cab audio alerts, empowering drivers with self-coaching, accident warning, and immediate guidance for safer decisions. This data and Netrodyne unique scientific approach from its green green zone score, a driver score that calculates an accurate reflection of what's happening in the field of a driver. At night, transportation and swift transportation safety is fundamental value and prerequisite transportation services we provide, said David Tillman, SVP of Safety and Driver Development at Knight Swift. Netrodyne unmatched investment in cutting-edge AI technology made them the clear choice for our fleets. The in-cab audio alerts and real-time feedback are unique tools that empower our drivers to make safer decisions on the road. At the end of the day, I call cap. Who else agrees with me? Who doesn't agree with me? Let me know in the comments. I call cap on this. It's just another way to like again when Prime came out with these cameras, I just think it's just another way to creep on your drivers, man. It's another way to control how they're driving. I mean, if you put them in your truck, you should expect and trust that they can safely move your freight from point A to point B without screwing everything up. But, you know, like I said, my real question would be, is this going to be just like the same situation with Prime, where they are going to force their owner operators to have these cameras? Because as of current, if I can remember still, if you decide to choose to get your own outside insurance at Swift, you don't have to have their camera in your truck. And it's also advised not to keep their cameras in your truck as a way to prevent them from finding any excuse to terminate your contract. Jerome Garrett's in the building. Good night. Garrett, how you doing? Some of these guys do not need no privacy. If you're going to go down the road texting and go into someone else's lane and cause an accident, yeah, they need the cameras on the inside. Okay, how about this? How about we put cameras in trucks of drivers who are known to cause these issues, and not just everybody else? If I'm a driver, if I'm a safe driver, I don't have any accidents on my record, I don't have nothing, no tickets, no anything, none of that. Why should I get the camera? Why should I be punished like everybody else? Cam, the trucker, is in the building tonight. Cam, how you doing, brother? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. 18, what it do? Fran Mariah, good evening. Welcome to the show. Swift allows them to cover the lens, so no, they can't see the driver. At night, they can through the I apologize. At night, they can through a reflection from the windows. You should not be playing with phones anyways while driving. 100% agree with you. You shouldn't be texting and driving down the road. I'm not going to dispute that. Here's the problem where I have with some of these with some of these camera systems. They say they only work when an event is triggered, but we all know that these are electronic devices and they can be what's the word? Tuned, calibrated, or modified in any way, shape, or form. Who's to know that the camera isn't actively recording you while you're sleeping? That's all I gotta say about that. Lance Calhoun, can you touch GPS while driving? Hey, good question. Are you gonna get pointed while you're touching your GPS while you're driving? Maybe you need to pull up the next truck stop. Technically you shouldn't be touching it while you're driving at all. You should already be in pre-trip plan all before you started driving. But that's neither here nor there. Trucker Todd, if Knight Swift truly wants to be a safer company, they should stop hiring foreign drivers that can't read the traffic signs or communicate with law enforcement in an event of an accident. Let's see. I'm gonna get back to you on that one, Trucker Todd. We're gonna have to talk about that a little bit more, okay? Fran Mariah. Oh, and hello to you in the chat. Hello, Fran. Lance Calhoun back again. Walmart can see phone reflections and automatic termination. There is some truth to be said about the glass on your windshield is kind of reflective. However, there are ways to get around that. You can put a filter in front of the camera. That way it doesn't reflect or bounce the light off of the glass, so they can't relatively see you, I guess is the lack of better word. That's something you can do. You can just Well, I'm not telling y'all how to Amazon. That's all I'm gonna say. Texas J Danger. Good evening. How you doing, man? Hello. Where is the flu rabbit? The fly rabbit. Flu rabbit. Okay. He's been kidnapped. He's not here tonight. He's been held for ransom. So I'm gonna need you guys to send some cash app or something. I don't know. Fran Mariah, I won't. It won't if you cover the lens like Swift tells them to do. Well, for how long are they gonna say, "Hey, you can cover the lens"? That's okay. Why can't they just turn it off in the system? But then again, even if they can turn it off in the system, they might still be able to turn it back on when you're not paying attention. I guess. Why even okay? If you can do all of that, why not just, I don't know, not put the camera in the truck? They already have a camera in the truck that's facing outwards. Now they're gonna put a new camera system in the truck with 3 lenses that's facing both sides and still tell you, oh, by the way, you can still cover these lenses. What's wrong with the camera that they already have in the truck? Just leave that one there. There's nothing wrong with that one. Army Kane. I know Crete only adds cameras to drivers that have had accident or driving violations. Facts, I agree with you 100%. If that's the case, that's what they should do. Not penalize your new drivers or force your drivers or your lease operators, since they're your contractors and they're not employees. Can't force them to put these cameras in the system. I'm still surprised no one has already filed a lawsuit against Prime, but that's neither here nor there. And I believe it's only outward facing, and I think it's for 90 days unless you have another issue. I'm pretty sure if you had another issue within those 90 days, you would probably be terminated at that point. Michael Hayden, Trucker Todd, let's not do that tonight. Let's not do that tonight. Bull of the Woods, good evening. How you doing, man? How you doing? Let's see. Michael Hayden again. Everybody wants to blame foreign drivers for taking cheap freight, but won't blame the mega carriers for taking the cheap freight as well. So, from my understanding, right, these mega carriers are they on the load board on the open market? Yes, they are. But the majority of their freight is contract freight that you would never see unless if they push it out to the open market for you to get. But I will agree to some point that the mega carriers do kind of screw us up, especially us owner operators. They really do a number on us. That's why the ATA. It's been preached and said many times over. The ATA is not for truckers; it's for mega carriers. It's for the will of the mega carriers and not for the will of the truckers. The ATA does not want to have owner operators; they want the whole market to themselves. Fran Mariah again. That's a different camera. It's an upgrade. I wouldn't necessarily define an upgrade because for owner operator or a company driver, they might not see that as an upgrade. They might see it as an invasion of privacy. And that one camera that they had was the best thing that they had for them. At least it protected them in the event of an incident that happened outside the truck. But now you have 2 other cameras on the side that they're telling you that you can cover up, right? Like, make that make sense. Because when in an event of an accident, they're gonna still the insurance people and the lawyers are gonna ask, why is that camera covered? If the camera has two lenses on the side and it's recording and they can't see those cameras because you cover them up, you're gonna tell the lawyer Swift told you to do it, and Swift's gonna look at you like this. Who told you to do that? It's not gonna happen. Legally, it's not a good look. It's not a good move. So whoops, if drivers like it, don't leave. Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, absolutely. But with that kind of mindset as a truck driver, that's a very dangerous mindset as a truck driver, man. We got to learn how to stick up for one another when these companies are going above and beyond what is needed for you to be able to drive down the road safely and legally. And that's the reason. That's another thing that everybody complains about. Because we can't never agree on one thing. Truckers as a whole, we just can't agree on one thing. So we are always fragmented. Because we are always fragmented, generally speaking, we're always going to be taken advantage of. Framurai, let's see. Trucker Todd says mega carriers aren't on the spot market; they are doing contract rate. Absolutely, that's what I said earlier. Framurai, I don't believe megas take cheap freight. You little people do that. Who you calling little? Who you calling little? Huh? Because y'all don't know what y'all doing. Okay, Fran, what do you do? I would be interested in knowing what you are. You an owner operator, a lease driver? Tell us what is it that you do out here? And the country sucks too. I mean, we got the Don in the house. He's trying to do a great reset on everything. So I don't know what to say about that, man. Forward cameras do not help drivers. Rear facing cameras definitely do not help drivers in what case whatsoever, because the lawyers will always find something. Even if you did everything perfectly and right, the lawyers will scrutinize that video down to the last second and say, oh, he sneezed. He wasn't paying attention to the road. He was looking over there while he sneezed. And that's what caused the accident. And then what you gonna do from there? What are you gonna do from there? James got a job interview. James been kidnapped, man. Y'all need to send some cash out for his ransom. That's all I'm gonna say about that. If you're not a mega, then you little. Well, all right. Well, I guess. All right, let's get into where is my here it is. Pull this over. And well, since this is a owner operator show, because that's what it is, we are going to take a look at stuff more pertaining to owner operators. I need to copy this and put this somewhere else because I cannot share it in that way. So bear with me 1 second, guys. And who keeps texting me? This fool in New Mexico. Let's see. Stop sharing. And I need to go see if I can do it this way. Boom. Where's the paste button? Copy. Okay, I can't even copy it. That's not gonna work. All right, let's see. Paste. Close. Okay, let's check some of these comments here. Let's see. What's his name? Country's Big Lover Man. I don't know. You tell me. I'm a little owner operator paid off truck from that mega carrier named Swift. One, congratulations. Respect to you for being able to finish a lease and paying off that truck. But if you want to call yourself little, that's on you. I ain't little. American Trucker, our company is about to make our in cameras in AI. They only do it because of insurance. I mean, if that's the story that they're telling you, I guess. I know a driver got into an accident with a four-wheeler, and 30 days later, the car's lawyer had now requested his logs for 30 days and all damages on his truck not to be fixed until after the lawsuit. Hey, things like that happen. I'm not discounting it. Things like that happen. And with the lawyer requesting no damages to be fixed on the truck, that really puts that driver out of service for quite longer than what he would need to, which sucks. Really, really bad. Let's see. Michael, I was with CRST and they was on the spot market. They have a whole department for their spot freight. So don't tell me mega carriers don't use spot. I didn't say they didn't use it. They primarily, okay, key word is primarily only use contract freight. And then on the back end, when they want to fill the drivers in or go or get the drivers moving somewhere else, then they will go ahead and get on the open market to find freight. That's that's usually how it goes. Let's see, Jerry McClure. Good evening, Jerry. Get James job at Landstar. He doesn't want to come over here. He has his own reasons, and got to respect that at the end of the day. But I predict that eventually, sometime in the future, close enough in the future, that he may come to the Star. He just got to go through the motions for it first. Spot market is not something that megas take. Their drivers take that. They are the spot market. Okay, that don't make no sense, because if I work for a mega carrier and they get me a spot market freight, isn't that still the mega carrier getting that freight? Because like I said earlier, they do take spot market freight, but the majority of the work that they do, it's usually contract freight. Michael Hayden says Swift is self-insured, so how is the cameras for insurance purposes? Good question. I'm pretty sure they are self-insured only up to a certain amount, and they still got to get the rest of the insurance from somewhere else. So they still got to pay insurance to somebody else. All of his damage has been fixed before he got the letter for the lawyer. Oh, well, too bad. Oh, well, too bad. So sad. I don't know what to tell. Well, I guess the lawyer is going to have to go through some pictures here. Say, have you seen Roadrunner Nia at Landstar yet? I have not. If I see her, I'll say hello, but I have not seen her out here. Listen, when it comes to these Landstar drivers are all over the place, man. So let me tell you that. They are all over the place. You're not gonna find the same person in the same place all the time. So let me see. I'm trying to figure out how I can copy and paste this, because I have a lot of stuff on here that I don't want you guys to see. That's private information. But I'm really trying to get this thing to you guys. Let me see. Can I save it? I might be able to save it, and then I might be able to pull it up. Save. And let me see if I can pull it up here. Let's see. Vantage Media Assets. Overlay. Y'all got to bear with me for 1 second here. I'm learning this new thing, man. I don't got Fly Rabbit here to entertain you guys in the meantime while I'm messing with stuff. So let's see. Add a video, add overlay. Yeah, maybe I could just do an overlay, right? It's going to show everything, but fuck it. It is what it is. Now, let me see how this works. I'm back by popular demand. All right, let's see. Back to my comments. Let me finish up these comments, and then I'm going to pull everything else up here. Let's see. It would take James longer to get on at Landstar than how long he would stay. Cameras are for the money-grubbing lawyers. Facts. Trucker Todd, Michael Hadan, let's meet up and we can discuss what it... All right, let's keep it pushing, guys. Why can't we be friends? Jerry McClure, 18. I'm at JB Hunt. I love it. More power to you, brother. Hey, I appreciate it, man. If you can get it out, get it how you get it, no matter what company you at, man. So Framride said you can't PC at Landstar. I heard that's bullshit. Army Kane, if it's your OnlyFans page, we really don't need to see it. Man, listen, guys, it was a link. It kept pulling up as a link, but I guess Let's see, exercise, video file, image. Let's see. Let me see if this is going. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to do it like this. Okay, so again, I want to preface that this is just Me and James had a conversation, and we pulled up this information. We pulled this information pretty much out of our asses. At the end of the day, it is just an opinion. It's not necessarily facts. If you agree with it, cool. If you don't agree with it, put it in the comments. I mean, even if you do still agree with it, I mean, put it in the comments. If you got something to add about this, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. Red flags of a company for an owner operator. Let's see. First thing first, charging cargo insurance is a big no-no. Why are you charging me for cargo insurance? I don't own the cargo. I think that's kind of messed up. And on top of that, you're charging me how much now for cargo insurance? It's ridiculous. You know, illegal logs. Second one. Forcing me to drive when I'm I say forcing because you know nobody can make you do whatever you want to do. But we all know there's some companies out here that'll force you to run illegal logs, or you're gonna get royally screwed. Whether it's with the loads or with your pay, they're gonna find some way to mess with you. Paying for trailer repairs that you don't own. This is my opinion, okay, not necessarily facts. If I'm paying for a trailer, I intend to own that trailer at the end. If I'm paying for that trailer, I intend to own that trailer at the end. If I'm paying for repairs on that trailer, especially as a company driver, you know, we got some companies out here, they put you in a company driver position, we'll just call that 1099 or whatever, and then they still would charge you for any damages and repairs to a trailer. You know, maybe sometime outside of normal abuse, there might be a case for that. But in general, there should be no reason for me to be paying for a trailer. Companies that offer you trash equipment from day one, as soon as you get out the door, and the first thing you see is a beat up KW. Check engine lights on. Truck is dirty, not cleaned out from the previous driver. You know, mismatched tires. None of the tires are even DOT legal. Big red flag. Time for you to get up out of there. You know, these never leases where they have these absorbently high erroneous balloon payments at the end. You know, your payments during the week, they might be low. And some of them are still pretty high. And then they're charging you a balloon payment at the end after you have paid in so much money. And usually that balloon payment is not reflective of what the actual truck costs in the market at the current time. Even at the time when you leased it, it's not even worth the balloon payment that they're asking for at the end. Next red flag, impossible to switch companies. Now, again, like I said, opinions, you know. If they don't have no path for you to leave the company because you're not making money there or you're not happy with how things are, but you are up and up on your equipment, everything is straight, and they're not allowing you to take it, another red flag. Let's see. Pay for repairs on a factory warranty truck. Yes, there are companies out there will give you a brand new truck, and whatever small little issues that you have, you take it to the dealer, they'll get the bill, but they don't pay the bill because it's covered under factory warranty, but they know how much it would have cost, so they go ahead and charge you as well. Makes no sense whatsoever. And yes, there are companies out there. Now, here's a hot debate. Should you be paid cents per mile, or you should get a percentage of the cut? And when you get percentage of the cut, are you getting what they are offering you or what the load actually pays? You know, there's different levels to that stuff there. And again, that's into the other point, offered rate versus the actual rate. Are you actually hauling that load for what it actually costs, or they gave you a suggestion and it's a yes or no, you take yes, and all of a sudden they just took $1,000 off of you never knew, you know? And again, at the end of the day, all of this stuff is debatable. It's up to you whether or not if it's something that you can work with or this is a major red flag for you. And last but not least, and this is a big one, not passing the discounts or the fuel surcharge to the driver. Driver is incurring all these expenses, truck expenses, trailer expenses, insurance and expenses, and you still having these drivers pay pump price is crazy to me. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Let's see. Lance Calhoun says Country is going to have to get his girl an OnlyFans page. Listen, Brittany is a very nice lady, okay? We don't want to see Brittany naked. I mean, she probably make a lot of money for Country, but we don't want to see Brittany naked. Anyways, in the comments, let me know what you guys think about these red flags. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Let me know in the comments as well too. Let me know in the comments as well. Now, does anybody else run into this issue? Maybe I don't know. Depends, I guess. So one of my biggest things that I do when I go to a shipper and I pick up a load, I always make sure that before I sign any documents, I read and scan through everything to make sure everything's on the up and up. And then I also ask them for the seal, so the physical seal, so that I can check and verify that the seal is correct. Because it ain't nothing more annoying than, just grabbing your paperwork, doing everything, just going about your business, put the seal on, then, let me finally check the seal number after I put the seal on the door, and boom, it's not the right seal. Now you got to go through a whole bunch of problems with them reprinting the paperwork out with the right seal number on there, spending extra time at the shipper. I have found that lately, when I go to these shippers and I request to see the seal, everybody's getting an attitude. Y'all let me know. Is it me, or should I just, maybe I'm just asking for too much, or they got a problem with me verifying and actually doing my fucking job, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Jared McClure is asking for James again. James has been kidnapped and he is being sought for ransom. So we don't know what I don't know what to tell you guys about that. So Fran Mariah says balloon payment at Swift is the cost or what the truck is worth at the end. Problem is owner operators mess with their maintenance account and therefore cannot pay the truck off or have a good credit to get a loan. It's okay. So balloon payment at Swift is at the cost of what the truck is worth at the end. How would you know what the truck is worth if we haven't even gotten to the end of the whole discussion? The whole truck payment. I don't know what this truck would cost. My truck, personally, I wouldn't know what that truck would cost 2 or 3 years from now. Maybe it goes down in value. Maybe it goes up in value. Who knows? But as a former Swift owner operator, okay, I can tell you that the prices that they had on especially their new trucks after you do your 5 years, they were asked 5 years. After 5 years, let's get 450,000 miles, maybe 500,000 miles on a truck. If you are a runner, not a track star, you're looking a used truck around 400,000 and 500,000 miles. You're getting around between 50 and below. And Swift was their balloon payment was about $80,000 to $90,000 after 5 years. That same truck would not be worth $80,000, $90,000 after 5 years. And I'm only speaking from experience because hey, I used to pull loads for Swift. I used to be an owner operator over there. McClure said, "Where's Poppy? Still at F2F?" I believe Poppy still works at F2F. And at Country, I like your videos. Carnivore is the way. Hey, Country does have pretty cool videos. Y'all check him out on TikTok. Check him out on YouTube. He does a lot of his cooking stuff on the what are you doing on YouTube Shorts? I think he does most of his cooking on the YouTube Shorts, but his TikToks are freaking hilarious. Okay, sometimes I gotta ask him, hey, dude, I need you to slow down a little bit before you catch a little heart attack because the way you going at it, man, somebody's gonna have to call the police or something to go pick you up out that truck. You're putting a little too much rage in the back of some of these TikTok videos, my guy. That say, you know what it's worth because they show the amortization in your lease just like you would get from a home loan. Well, the difference between a home loan and a truck loan is that your home, but the difference between a home and a truck, your home tends to go up in value as it ages. Your truck tends to go down in value drastically as it ages. So I wouldn't necessarily compare the two. It's like comparing an apple and an orange. It's just two different things there. Now, we did experience a couple of years ago through the coronavirus situation where truck values did shoot up and through the moon. There are some trucks that do still hold their values, but these trucks are not these plastic trucks that we drive nowadays. I'm talking about W9s. I'm talking about 389s. You know, we talking about long hood. We talking about classics. You know, those kind of trucks tend to hold their value better than these modern trucks do. Those are the what I call not necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily put those part of the conversation because they're special. Everybody wants a hood truck with an 18 speed with a 3-something whatever rear axle, you know? Say you didn't read your lease because if you did, you would know what I am talking about. I'm just saying, hey, I'm only speaking from my experience here. Everybody always wants to say, well, if you didn't read your lease or if you didn't read this, if you read, let's be honest, right? Okay, 99% of people do not read they don't even read the contract for their phones. And you expect them to read their lease? Like, come on now. And I'm not saying that it's not that important because reading your lease is pretty important because you're actually making a life-changing choice. But what's the percent of people actually reading the lease to understand what's actually going on in the paper? You make it sound like you read your lease from the front to the back like a Bible before you signed that paperwork. And I know you got the paperwork in the same day. How long did it take you to read that lease before you gave it back to them? How did you get to understand your lease? If you did in one day, how did you understand your lease in just that one day? Have you had any more trouble out of the truck? Nah, man, my truck's pretty good. Like I said, I got the new tires. I still have that check engine light that I still haven't taken care of. But again, I know what it is, and it's not stopping the truck from working. So I'm gonna stack my bread first, and then I'm gonna just take a nice little vacation while the truck gets fixed. That's the whole goal right there. Like I said, I don't have too much problem with it. My goal right now is, stack bread, get me an APU, and then go from there pretty much. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Let's see. More Framrai again. Maybe your home will go up, depends on where you buy. Yeah, true. If you buy in a not so shady area, it's still gonna go up, but not as much as a nice neighborhood in the suburbs. Let's see. Kevin Clark, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Those trucks hold value because they last forever. Relatively speaking, I mean, technically speaking, these trucks, any truck will last. Will last you a long time if you take care of it. If you're just hopping behind the wheel and just chucking it on down the road, and you're not paying attention to the little small things that happen, or you're not being intimate with your truck, sooner or later you're gonna find problems with them. New, old, used, doesn't matter. If you're not taking care of the truck, it's not gonna take care of you. That moral of the story. Swift will give you the value of what's it worth. You can negotiate. Okay, well, I didn't know that I could negotiate, but that's good information for anybody else who is leasing from Swift to know. Jerry McClure says, I got a 2016 Pro Star. Being good to me so far. Got 660,000 miles on it. 2016 Pro Star. You got that? What you got? A Cummins? I think you gotta come. You got an X15 in that thing, right? Yeah, let me know in the comments, man. Lance Calhoun says, lease, is that the thing we sign every 3 years? No, Lance, we ain't talking about we ain't talking about that lease. You know, that lease different. That's a whole different story for us Landstar drivers than it is with a typical lease truck. Leasing the truck, I guess that's what we're talking about here. J Square Expedite said, I read mines because it was only 3. Oh, shoot. I lost that. Let me go back. I read mines because it was only 3 pages long. Hey, that's good. Hey, long enough, I guess, you know? But when you got a stack of Bible put up in front of you and all these legalese on there, I mean, that's where we have a little issue. You're a business person, right? Absolutely. I 100% agree with you on that, friend. We're all business people. Well, those of us who are owner operators, we should read our leases and read our contracts or read anything that we get into. But let's face it, how many people actually read every single piece of paper that they get in regards to their business? I mean, every single piece. I'm not saying that people don't. I'm not saying that nobody never does. Let's just be realistic about those numbers here. Lance said this 579 is always needing something. I hope you ain't got a pack car in that thing, man, because it'll forever need something. Fran says, I read that lease when I was a company driver. How long did it take you to read that lease, Fran? I would like to know. Army Kane says, wait, we all die and go to hell, and the devil shows us who you are. Accept it, and accept it with your terms of service agreement on your cell phone. Oh man, that's crazy, man. Newman Attack is finally in the building. Good evening, Newman. How are you, man? Show the Landstar settlements. Absolutely not. I am not one of those YouTubers, man. I'm not interested in doing that. Could I get some views? Should I get a lot of subscribers? Absolutely, but that is not my goal for my channel. I am not interested in showing settlements. I mean, I don't understand how it benefits anybody in any way, because at the end of the day, somebody is going to always say you're not making enough money, no matter what I do. And that's a lesson that I learned watching all these settlement videos on YouTube. I mean, boy, they just had a live on the truck community. I don't know if you guys know about that YouTube channel, about this one dude that's been leasing forever and a day. He grossed $9,000, ran his truck as if it was a team through one of those Russian carriers. $9,000 gross, and guess how much money he took home at the end? Barely $3,000, what, $2,500, $2,200 something dollars, and his deductions was a lot. I'm just saying. And people still criticize him for him. Some people say he was making good money. Other people was like, dude, you grossed $9,000, only took home $2,500. That's whack. Opinions at the end of the day, you know? That says APU has 5,000 hours, and I have spent $3,500 on it in the last year. It's a paperweight. What you got, Thermo King, or you got a carrier? Because either one of those is going to cost you money after they age out after a while. Newman Attack, show us the Landstar settlements. We want to see the cheddar. You can see the fruits of my labor. I'm not showing you my cheese, man. I'm not showing you my cheese. Thermo King. Yeah, my guy, you might have to. Hey, if it keep costing you money, it's supposed to be saving you money. It's not supposed to be costing you anything, man. You might have to chuck it, call it a day, get you another one. Some. I don't know, man. Jared McClure said, no, I got an N13 twin turbo in a ProStar. Okay. N13 Cummins, right? N13 is Cummins, right? If I remember correctly. That's to be. I think it's the Cummins, yeah. You sign a lease every year for your apartment. I don't have an apartment. I don't sign no lease. I don't got no apartment, so I wouldn't know nothing about that. Well, if you don't read it, then you shouldn't be signing it then. And again, I'm not disagreeing with you, friend. I mean, you're absolutely right. But let's be realistic. How many people are actually reading and actually I mean, even if you read your contract, right? And you read through all the legalese bullshit, How much of that stuff do you gonna sit here and tell me you understand what 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% of the whole of the contract and what it actually says? Because we all know it ain't in English. It ain't in dumb English. I mean, I'm telling you because I've looked at my contract. I read the contract when I was at Swift. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I understood every single thing that is said in there because it ain't in English. I'm just gonna be real with you. It ain't in the English that we speak. I'll tell you that. Newman Attack, I would have been here earlier, but I had to give AMC my money and enjoy Minecraft. I want to go watch that movie, man. I heard it was pretty good. And no matter if you got here a little bit later because I did not start on time. I was having mic issues. So you're good. You got in when you got in, man. Now shows the cheddar. I refuse. You're not gonna see my cheddar. I ain't letting you see nothing. Show us anyways the money. Maybe we'll come over to Landstar. No, that's not how this works. You come over here because you want to come over here, not because you think that I make X amount of dollars and it looks great. Because you know what you're gonna find out when you get over here. Me and you don't run the same, so me and you not gonna make the same amount of money. Maybe you might make more. Maybe you might make less. Me showing you my settlement is not going to help you in any way whatsoever. That's just speaking fact. The only thing I'm gonna get out of y'all is whether or not I'm making. I'm pretty sure I'm barely gonna get anybody saying, "Oh, you're making good money," and a whole lot of people are gonna be like, "Well, at my company, I gross this, and I take this home." That's all we're gonna get into to the whole live all night. We ain't finna do that. There's other channels for that. There's other companies out there. There's other Landstar YouTube drivers that'll tell you what they're grossing and what they're netting, and they can show you. I ain't finna show you. International N13, understood. So it's not a max force, right? N13 is not a max force. I know my engines, but I don't know every single engine out there. But yeah. Kevin Clark, good evening. I gross 9K at a Russian company working dual logs. Well, if you want to be a slave, that's on you. J Squared Expedite says my APU is 8 years old and it still runs fantastic. No issues. It's all about maintenance. Absolutely. As I was preaching earlier, if you take care of your equipment, it will take care of you. It's pure English to me. Well, I guess, if it worked for you, it worked for you. Michael Haddad says Josh loves them Russian companies. That's why he's making 9K only breaking it too. Hey, yes, you see how Andrew always getting on him about that leasing stuff, man. He's been leasing for I don't know, probably longer than I've ever been driving. And what does he have to show for it? Hey, I don't know the man business. I'm just going off of what we see on the internet. Because if you put your business on the internet, I guess it's okay for everybody to criticize it, right? Let's see. Army Kane said if I was to add an APU, I would actually add an EPU with a mini split type deal. Mini splits are awesome. Okay. Mini splits in the garage and keep a garage cool. And that same size mini split, and they're not even huge. That same size mini split would freeze your truck. Okay, so that's not even a bad idea at all. EPUs, however, I don't know about EPUs. I've had an EPU because I had a Snyder truck before. I had a 24 Cascadia through SFI, and it wasn't all that bad, I guess. But you still gotta start the truck to charge the batteries, as opposed with a regular APU. You don't have to start the truck to charge the batteries. Either way, you're gonna drink fuel. Whether it's gonna be 11 hours from now, and you're gonna have to spend 2 hours idling your truck. And what are we talking about here? How much does a truck idle? About 8 gallons a night. So I guess maybe like a quarter of a gallon. You're still spending. You're still spending. I'd rather be comfortable all the way through. EPUs, you got to get up, you got to idle the truck, so it's all the same. But y'all don't make any money. That is not the reason. Listen, again, I explained the reason why I don't want to post my settlements. And hey, if you're gonna give me flack for not posting my settlements, at the end of the day, they're my settlements. I'm just not interested in showing them. And I pointed the reasons as to why it ain't gonna help nobody. Because at the end of the day, y'all gonna still, somebody is on here gonna say I'm not making enough money, or somebody is, maybe there might be somebody say, hey, look like you're making a good deal, but it ain't gonna benefit you because what I make and what you make is two different things. You know, I don't run the same lanes that you do, or I don't pick up the same loads that you do. You know, it's a whole different situation. Where Newman Attack says there was a lot more adult jokes in Minecraft than I expected. Man, I love movies that have innuendos like that, man. It's a kids movie, but hey, it's got a lot of grown people content on it. Lance Calhoun, if you want to see Landstar numbers, look up Blue Ribbon Logistics. Them boys always bragging, and yes, they do. Matter of fact, they go live on Fridays. You know, Fran, if you want to see Landstar settlements, go watch Blue Ribbon Logistics live on Fridays. They're always up there. But like I said, I'm not posting my settlements, nor do I have any interest in doing that. Let's see, Michael Hadan. Lawyers writes those contracts and expect people who barely graduate high school to understand. I graduated high school and I graduated with a high honors, and I still can't understand the contract the way that they write it. They really need to just write it in plain simple English. This is what you owe, this is what you do. All this 1,000 words in between and all this and extra stuff and leases and per legal and all that stuff is pretty much unwanted. And I'm pretty sure if they actually dumb down the contract and actually put it for the regular person to actually read, probably a lot of people wouldn't lease trucks, you know, because their common sense would come into play. I'm not gonna be mad. That's pretty much what it is. Bad Badger, good evening. Welcome to the live. Loved his Smart Idle. Hey, Smart Idle works really great. But the problem that I have with Smart Idle, it wakes me up. When I have my Freightliner and I used to use the Smart Idle all the time and I'm deep in sleep, then all of a sudden I hear this big old beeping, this long pause beeping noise, and then the truck starts running again. That's my problem with that. I'm always getting waked up when I had my Smart Idle. That's why I just never used it. There you go, Fran again. You still should show how to and read and comprehend if you went to school. Well, I guess since they took Hooked on Phonics out of school, the people can't really read. I mean, side note, I did take Hook on Phonics when I was growing up. My mom bought the little VHS tapes and I used to watch them. I mean, by the time I was already pretty proficient at reading anyways, but I just found that I found that hilarious that you put that Hooked on Phonics reference in there, because I really did enjoy watching Hooked on Phonics on VHS. If anybody knows what VHS is, now I'm dating myself at this point, but Newman Tax says I have my first EPU on my 2025 and I now prefer it more. But my truck has a setting where it will start the truck to cool it if the EPU can't keep up. And hey, that's cool. My 2024 SFI truck did the same thing. My whole issue with like I said, my whole issue is with the truck. When it gets to a low battery and then the Smart Idle starts kicking on, it's a bitch to deal with. Well, for me personally, because like I said, it wakes me up. Rick Pigs in the building. Good evening. Let's just say I just got done filing my taxes. Ouch. Either way, digging your content, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming in. Fidel's in the building. Yo. I'm gonna steal your shit again tonight. Yo. Hey, he's taking his wife out tonight for her birthday, man. That's pretty nice of you, Fidel. He could afford to do that because, you know, he's at Landstar. You know, if you want to ask him about his settlements, Mariah, you're more than welcome to ask him. Nobody said he didn't make any money. Now now he will tell us. Okay. Let's see. Michael Haddon said that's why I don't like lease drivers promoting leasing and losing. It's not a tricycle to show. It's not a tricycle to show for it. Absolutely. And at the end of the day, right? Here's the thing about showing off gonna get you got. Like I said, if y'all want to show off and you know, all those videos that were showing all these lease drivers that were making oh yeah, I'm making this amount, and they posting their settlements and all this stuff, and then here comes the bandwagon in the background, and oh well, man, you're getting ripped off, man. They're charging too much. You ain't got this, you ain't got that. But I prefer to just keep my stuff private. If I'm making my money, I determine whether or not I make enough money. I don't need to put my stuff on the internet for y'all to come back and tell me I ain't making enough money. Okay, it ain't gonna do me no good, and it definitely ain't gonna do you no good. Because if I show you my settlements, are you gonna come work at Landstar? Let me rephrase that. If I show you my settlements, are you gonna come and partner with Landstar to make some money? 9 times out of 10, no. You just want to know what the hell kind of money I'm making. My allergies is starting to get to me, so if my voice starts sounding a little weird, it's because my nose is getting stuffy. All right. Army Kane says if you have a DD-15, you need to idle at 900 RPM and it burns about 1.78 gallons per hour. So let's just round that up to 2 gallons an hour. 2 gallons an hour, that's a lot. That's a lot. If you put an APU on that sucker, you're only going to be burning what? Maybe an eighth, an eighth of a gallon, maybe just 1 gallon for the whole night per 10-hour cycle. Let's see. If you have an X15, it idles at 600 RPMs and burn less than a gallon. Grandma said, okay, thanks. I will watch him. Hey, and they do give out great content, Blue Ribbon Logistics. So I would say definitely check them out. Watch their show. You might learn a thing or two. I mean, it's always nice to learn a thing or two, Kevin Clark, does Blue Ribbon Logistics have a dance? No. I don't think I ever seen that guy dance. I actually saw him in person a couple weeks back when I was at math. He was sitting at a table across from us while we were doing our little Landstar meeting. He doesn't look like the dancing type. I'll tell you that much. So maybe calling themselves the wrong name, like lease driver, is the reason they fail. And then what should they call themselves? Because if you're leasing a truck, ain't that what you are? You're a lease driver, right? But correct me if I'm wrong here. Jared McClure says, I was leased on Landstar in the late 90s. It was hard. They had lot buddies. I don't know. Maybe you don't have to recheck that. I don't know. I was leased on Landstar in the late 90s. It was hard. They had lot buddies. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Newman Attack. I could sleep through the start stop, but I ran team for a little bit and had no issues with it either. Hey, if it works for you, perfect. Some people can deal with it. I am on the other camp that just can't. I can't deal with it. I hate being waking up, unless if I naturally wake up. I do wake up throughout the night. Sometimes I need to get some water or anything like that. But when I'm actually in a good sleep, I'm getting that good dream in. I'm just thinking about that, that little shorty. Y'all know what I'm getting with that. I got my good dream going on, and all I hear is beep. That's annoying as hell, bro. That wakes me up, and I be mad as hell because it usually be at that part of the dream where if you miss it, you ain't finna get it back. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, good night, everyone. I must get my beauty rest. Have to hit the road early. I appreciate you coming in with us tonight, Fran. I hope to see you next week with us. Again, appreciate the back and forth. Good content, good information. Love it. You have your beauty rest, and we'll see you on the flip side. See, Newman Attack said, I will consolidate all of my numbers for the last 6 months and share with anyone. Newman is offering his numbers. There you guys go. You guys can get his numbers. He's more than willing to let everyone get his numbers. See, Bad Badger says I idle at average 3%. Do you have an APU on your truck, Bad Badger? Or are you just, you're just one of those guys that, you just shut it off every time you stop? Good grief, can't type today. Let's see. Where are we? So anybody else got opinions, comments on the red flags of a company for an owner operator, let me know in the let me, you know, one thing I can also add to it. I'm gonna add another one to the list, right? I would say dispatchers, or not have, or just not being able to see to utilize the load board, and you have to go through a dispatcher. You know, dispatching 100%. You don't get to look at the load board. You can't get to pick your loads. You don't have an option to use the dispatcher in the background. Because then at that point, who's really controlling your money, your cash flow of money, how much money you can make a week? Not you, somebody else's. Cali Hustle is in the building. Good evening, sir. How you doing? Lance, I read you should idle as low as possible while maintaining a at minimum temps of 170. Yeah, you should definitely keep the engine idle as low as possible, because the truck's not under load. So you're gonna get different type of wear on your engine that you would normally get as if you were driving down the road. And it does decrease the life of the truck, not by a million, but just by a little bit, you know. It does increase likelihood of you having to put getting repairs done on your truck. Let's see. No, you're not. Your contract and the government says you are not. Social media don't dictate. You are. Your contract and taxes do. Simple. Okay, well, all right. I'll let you have that. But, you know, like I said, it all depends. I mean, that's how. I mean, that's how the if that's how the industry looks at it. But if the government says otherwise, your contract says otherwise, I mean, what do we call them out here? We got owner operators and lease drivers, and we have company drivers. It's three different categories. But as far as everybody else is concerned. But again, good night. Right where the truck is in the building. Hey, how you doing, man? I still can't talk because, girl, go to sleep. Fred, we'll see you next time, man. Let's see. I have an APU. Okay. Well, yeah, that 3% does make sense. You'll definitely get 3% if you're the type that doesn't idle the truck. Unfortunately, I don't have one, so I'm idling at the moment, and you know, it is what it is until I get an APU on the truck. So again, let me just go through this list one more time. I said the red flags of a company for owner operators is charging for cargo insurance, illegal or falsification of logs, companies that do allow those type of things, paying for a trailer repair that you don't own, or paying a rent on the trailer without having the option to buy that trailer. You know, these never leases with these high balloon payments that damn near just make it impossible for you to own the equipment at the end. I mean, here's the thing about leasing, right? A lot of people that lease, not everybody, right? A lot of people that lease don't have the best credit in the world, and they don't have the kind of money to go to a dealership to go get a truck and be on a monthly payment. So their best option is, you know, pray to God that the lease will fall through for them and they'll take care of what they need to take care of, and that they're able to save up money. However, that's not the case with most people, because if anybody can tell me what's the percentage of people that actually finish their lease, actually own the truck at the end of the lease? You get what I'm saying? Let's see. Paying for repairs on a factory warranty truck. They got some Chicago companies that hit you left and right on repairs for a truck that's still under warranty. Crazy to me, right? Let's see. CPM versus percentage, which is actually better? You know, for some markets, depending on how bad, when the market's bad, CPM may sound better. When the market's really good, percentage sounds even best. But when it comes to percentage, as the next one will be offered rate versus the actual rate. Are you being if I'm contracted to a carrier and it's an 80-20 split, am I really getting 80% of what the actual load is, or am I only getting 80% of what is actually being offered? And last but not least, not passing the discounts or the fuel surcharge off to the driver. I think that should be a mortal sin. If I'm paying for the truck, and you're pocketing the difference between between my fuel and my fuel surcharge, that's kind of messed up, you know. Where am I tonight? Somewhere south of Indianapolis. I have a load that I gotta head up to North Indiana to deliver, 2-stopper Costco load. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Let's see, BMH Transportation LLC. Good evening. I haven't been here the whole time, so this might have already been said, but if I was talking with a company to lease to and they have high percentage of brokered load, that's a red flag to me. So they have more brokered loads than they have contract freight. That's a red flag for you. Hey, you know, that's your red flag. A lot of these companies nowadays, especially when they're starting up, they don't have contract freight. You know, they haven't been long enough to get contract freight or anything of the sort. My light just went out, and it's on the charger. Let me see. Oh well. In either case, right? Some people may want to. Hey, some people may want to be leased onto a mega carrier because they have that contract guaranteed freight. Some people may want to just lease onto a carrier that has an open market because their potential is a little bit different. Let's see, Army Kane. I went to a company right now that dispatches me on loads. It's making me the money I need, and they keep me rolling. I've been averaging 3,100 miles a week. You, sir, are a hustler. And I'm pretty sure you're doing it legally without having to edit or, you know, modify your logs. Excuse me 1 second. I got my nose is starting to run. 1 second, guys. Where's my tissue paper? Ew. That is so gross. Allergies for the win tonight. Oh my lord. Hey, again, these red flags, you know, are just a combination. These are just opinions, in my opinion. Some people may find that it works better for them to have a dispatcher like Army Kane is, and he's making bank. That works for him. Some people might not see it that way. Some people want more control over their business and don't want to have somebody else controlling directly where they can go and when to go. Because yes, I mean, even with a dispatcher, you can deny these loads, but then you might add a little rift between you and your dispatcher, and now you know you're not getting the loads that you would want. They're just throwing bones at you, and it is what it is. But hey, that's what opinions are much appreciated and very welcome here. Odds about your list. James is at at a company that chases him from that charges him for that trailer he'll never own, and they might even charge him for maintenance on that trailer. Go watch his video. Go watch his new video. We can see he'll tell you exactly where he's at right now, and that may or may not be the truth. But go watch this video, man. I encourage everybody to go to James' channel. Well, I'm pretty sure most of you guys are already on that channel, so yeah. Because what I am streaming to that channel, so technically, yeah, it's all up there. Let's see, James McCurr. Lease on county transport, sleep 20 hours, drive 4 hours, drive 4 hour 20 hours, drive 4 hour drive, $6,000 month payment. Are they paying you or you're paying them $6,000 a month? Newman Tax says JB Hunt has contract freight, but you're not guaranteed to get it because if it's in the right lane, they'll give it to their power only slave fleet. I thought their company drivers get the best freight out there. if I don't recall, company drivers are all dedicated, so they get all the consistent freight. And I guess you guys have to fight with the power only guys on the outside for that. For the rest of the freight. That's kind of crazy. Andre C says better understanding Mudflap for them discounts. Hey, Mudflap's a good idea to get as an owner operator. You should have at least have 2 or 3 extra fuel cards other than the one that the company gives you. Because for one, companies like some of these Chicago companies will cut your fuel card off after you finish a load because you're not booked on another one. They'll do that because I guess it prevents you from filling up the truck and going home and turning it in after they gave you a $200 $200 paycheck after running for $7,000 gross for the week, right? For another good fuel card have is the ES Advantage fuel card. You get really good discounts at the Loves. I guess I could say that because I'm not affiliated with them. I just have their fuel card at the Loves. Nastic is another good one that you guys can get as well too, because that's a pretty decent fuel card. I believe you have to pay for there's a subscription service on that in order for you to use that card, but your fill-ups pretty much negate the cost of the card anyways. And me personally, I also have a Love's Financial card that covers me for maintenance and fuel. But my biggest discount that I get is using Landstar's fuel card. And it's my money because I'm the one that puts the money on that card. It's, but I get the discount. The discounts are passed off to me, and unfortunately, none of my fuel cards can match the discounts that I get through Landstar using their fuel card. Jerry McCurry said, "Country Transport drive new truck," and Country's in the building. Country said, "Hey Jerry, the Queen is back. Great to see you, buddy." Badger said, "LMAO Prime cut my fuel card off to try to stop me from turning the truck in. Silly rabbit. Prime is for kids." I did not even know Prime does that, man. That is shady as hell if they do. That's crazy. I thought that was like a Eastern European type thing, man, because those are the guys that really go they really go out their way to make sure they screw you left and right. Not only don't they give you a fuel discount, but you literally pay the raw, not the raw price, because the raw price was a hell of a lot cheaper. I wish we all could just pay for raw price without fuel, right? That would be freaking amazing. But you're being charged pump price, and there's no way that some of these companies, as big as they are not getting these discounts from these truck stops. You just ain't gonna never see them because they don't pass them off to you. And I think that's another way that they're staying in business, because they're making hand over fist, not only on top of the fuel, they're making money off of you from the cargo insurance, the trailer payment, the trailer maintenance, the truck repairs on these brand new trucks that don't need repair because they have warranties on them. The rates, they're undercutting. Not only they undercutting the rates, they'll undercut them and then undercut you as their as their lead driver. They make money hand over fist while you still struggle for $200 a week. It's crazy, man. Country, you the man. You absolutely is, man. Flying Patty, good evening. How are you doing? I'm just up the road from you in Plymouth, Indiana. Oh, not too far. Man, if only I'd traveled a little bit more, maybe we could have went and grabbed dinner or something. Country says, been here the whole time, just been editing. Oh, yeah. My buddy is a wizard with that editing stuff, man. He's been working on some stuff for me for the last couple of weeks, and to be honest, my mind just keep changing every now and again. And you know what? As crazy as he is in those TikTok videos, he's a very understanding person. And he doesn't get mad at me for changing my mind about the stuff that I asked him to edit for me. So, really cool guy, man. Very gentle dude, no matter what. Newman Tax says Schneider has bigger discounts than they forward to the driver. Absolutely. There's no way in God's green earth that I'm gonna believe that Schneider's only giving is only getting 30% 30 cents off on the gallon. That's all they're passing off to the driver. They definitely get more than that. You're only gonna get that 30 or 30 to 40 cents that they give you. And what, you're only getting those at the Pilot Center Flying J's too. So, tough luck, Hey, that's another one that's another red flag for me. If I'm an owner operator and this is my truck and not a lease driver, as some would say, why can't I fuel my truck where the hell I feel like? Why do I always have to stick to only the Pilots and the Flying J's? The reason why they want you to stick to the Pilots and the Flying J's is because they're gonna get that discount and they're pocketing that money. So you can't fuel anywhere else. That's crazy to me. Bad Badger says, I love small company. There's only 30 trucks. We are a family. If everybody knows your name, I guess they're small enough. That I welcome that. BMH Transport LLC says, come bring me dinner. I'm in. Okay. My hooked on finance gonna have to come in here real quick. Valparaiso. Okay. Valparaiso. Valparaiso. I'm gonna just go with Valparaiso. I go to dinner with you. I don't know if I'm gonna pay. We can split it. Yeah, that's what we can do. We can split it, man. Let's see. Bad Badger says, LOL. Better dinner than busted McDonald's under construction. Oh man, now I know who this is, man. Now I know who this is. Hey, my spicy chicken sandwich is lit though. I don't really care. That busted McDonald's was yo, I walked in, I'm on the phone, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go live tonight with Country and all that. Country couldn't make it because he didn't have good connection or whatever. And this guy just looked at me. He was like, "Oh, you going live tonight?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go live tonight." But then I looked up. I was like, "What the hell happened to the damn McDonald's?" And we both started busting out laughing. But hey, Badger man, I'm glad that you're in here, brother, man. Now I remember who you are, man. Shoot, that goddamn McDonald's. Hey, I still got my food though. We still got our food, right? We still got our food from McDonald's, so it's all good, man. Don't call me gentle, man. Ruining my asshole rep. Hey, okay. All right, he's a big old meanie. Only on TikTok. Let's see. Loyalty. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. Need help. Sure, what can I help you with? Only company left on the table is Schneider and Western Express since I finished school in 2023. And companies saying that's too far away and accept the two. So you haven't driven since 2023. Is that what I'm getting from there? Like, what's your situation? You haven't driven since 2023, or you got your license in 2023? And it's probably the first because it's 2023 is 2 years ago. You should have plenty of experience. Have you tried? What other companies have you tried? If you have 2023 and you haven't driven since then, but you got your license in 2023, you're pretty much still you're pretty much still a green thumb, right? So Swift, Warner, Jordan, pretty much Prime, all these mega carriers, somewhat they can help. They should be able to help you out. I mean, Swift, Schneider, and Western Express cannot be your only two choices, man. You have a CDL, you can go anywhere, man. Mamino poo poo face. Sir, the correct word is shit face. Only a gentle person would say meanie poo poo face. See, that's why I call you gentle. Not Western. Hey, I mean, Schneider's not for a company driver. I guess Schneider ain't so bad. You know, some of you guys already know how I feel about Schneider and their whole situation. They're not terrible. I just don't like all that safety shit that they be doing. That's just me. I think they go above and beyond too much. Can there be a saying of there's too much safety? Yes, when it comes to Schneider. Let's see. Went to Western January and quit feeling human traffic sex from being solo with an undercover pedophile because of my body stature advice. I'm going to guess that you are a female, right? Body stature. You're a small, petite woman, I'm guessing, and I guess you were being harassed or something like that. Well, I definitely wouldn't go back to Western Express if I was you. If Schneider's your only choice, or if that's the only people that you apply to, I'd say give them a shot. However, you do have that. Everybody has that Teen Street app on their phone, that Driver Pulse app, where you can apply to like hundreds of companies all at once. I would try to, put my information back out there in there, update your information in it, and just shoot it off and see who calls you. That's an option that you can try. Landstar is a huge trucking company from Florida. Well, uh, is Landstar a trucking company? Landstar is a freight relocate. Let me stop playing. Listen, funny enough, right? They are based off in Jacksonville, Florida, but they weren't create. Landstar itself wasn't even created in Florida. I think it was like a Connecticut-based company first. But a little bit tidbit information there for you guys. Let's see. Loyalty says Newman told self going to Western is going against myself, but not no options except the two. Well, it sounds like you only got one option in that Schneider. But like I said, if you go to your Teen Street app, update your information and send it out, there should be more companies on there that's willing to take you on. I mean, Werner would take anybody. Swift will take anybody. There's no way that those two aren't going to take you. I mean, they take new drivers all the time. They train new drivers all the time. So I take that information as you will. You know, most mega carriers only need 6 months. Most mega carriers don't even need 0. I mean, they'll train you too. So that like I said, that's another one. Raw is another one that's annoying when it comes to safety. Rail. I don't know which way you say it because some people say it's Roel, some people say it's rail. But yeah. But and then, like I said, like the safety thing, I don't mind safety because safety is important at the end of the day. My whole thing is just how they go about the safety aspect of it. Like my biggest pet peeve when I was leased at Schneider was the fact that if there was something important or something serious, they want you to pull over and call them. They'll send you a message saying, "Hey, this is important." You call them. You know what the problem with that is? I'm trying to get to my delivery on time, right? And I can't pull over and wait 30 minutes on hold to get somebody on the phone just to tell me, oh, XYZ ABC, and then hang up. Because I just feel like I just wasted my goddamn time. Well, you could have just called me while I was driving. I have a headset. That's the reason why I bought the headset. But then Schneider's all, oh, headsets aren't safety and all this crap. Like they are real anal about the whole safety crap. It's fucking annoying. Okay? You can't, company driver, you can't walk on the yard without your safety vest. If you got a headset on your head, your automatic termination, like crap like that. Just don't like. Again, I'm all for safety, but they take it a notch above, and it is it's something else, man. It like I said, it's annoying, and in the business that we're in, 5 minutes could mean that you lost 30. Pulling over for 5 minutes could mean that you lost 30 minutes for your day. You know, we're in traffic all day. You know that could mean anything. It could screw you up in a royal way. Let's see. Newman Tech says Snyder is a solid choice, and they are, and they are. You know, that just their safety shit is just not for me. just go there, but know that they take safety policy more serious than than any other company. Absolutely. So that is the only company that I know. Like I said, it's the only company I ever worked at or ever known that I have to call in, or they'll attempt to call. Or matter of fact, yeah, I got several. Even before I went to Snyder. Yeah, I was still leased on the Swift. They called me. It was like, "Are you pulled over?" I'm like, "No, I'm driving." Well, we could talk. I'm on a headset. I was, "No, you gotta call me. You gotta call us back, so we could talk to you about coming on over." I was like, "Okay, that like that should have been my red flag right there." But I digress. I had a plan, and my plan worked out. And in order for my plan to work out, I had to go through those steps with Snyder to get where I needed to go. So I guess, what's her actual experience? Yep, that's what I'd like to know. Let's see. Tried every company in the book. All they're saying is I need 3 months experience. I already applied to the rest, all of them. Only Snyder and Western is available. If Snyder and Western is your only choice, I would go with I'll go with Snyder. You just know you're gonna have to be dealing with a whole lot of when it comes to safety. They don't play. Like they on your ass like white on rice. So, and even with that being said, I'd rather you go to I would rather go to Snyder than to go to Western Express, because every single truck that Western got is missing a fender. So, oh, my bad. It's a dude. Gotta apologize about that. Loyalty is a dude, so we gotta apologize about that. He's a male, only 21. So everyone the red flags, as in Snyder, staying in a room with a stranger 12 days out of 19. I don't know about being in a room with anybody, because when I went to do my orientation, I had my own room in the hotel. If you're planning on teaming, then I get you guys share a truck. But if you're not planning on teaming, then you got a truck all to yourself. Maybe it's maybe on the company side they have to share rooms. I'm not sure, but hey, it's trucking, man. You gotta do what you gotta do to get where you need to get to eventually. So you gotta pick your apples carefully with that right there. So if it works for you, do that. Not everyone I see a name on Facebook group that's been fired from Swift for 3 accidents, then prime while in orientation, and now look like he's about to be tossed from Western now. I see a name on Facebook groups that's been fired from Swift for 3 accidents, then prime. Dude, who is that guy? Who's getting fired from all these mega carriers left and right? I'd like to see. I didn't even know Western Express fires people, man. Shoot. 10 Roads is a good carrier. They run OTR for the post office. Yep, seeing their trucks all the time. I'm not sure if they take on new drivers though. So, it might be something that you might have to check out. Same with Western Express across country. While in the truck, might just go with one or the other. Need advice because I need to gain experience ASAP. I tell you what, you never been to Snyder before, but you have been to Western Express. Ask yourself, do you want to go back to a situation that you've been in? Or do you want to take a chance with a situation that you haven't been in? You know what your situation was before. Were you comfortable in that situation? Is it something that you're willing to deal with? Or would you rather say, I'd take my chances somewhere else? That's a decision that you'll have to make. Because at the end of the day, we can't tell you where to go, because even if we had a positive or a negative experience, doesn't necessarily mean that you would have the same as well too. So yeah, Warner Knight Swift not taking me, blackballed, bro. All the companies work together on that human trafficking scheme. I don't know about the human trafficking, but they sure do. I believe there was like a lawsuit or something, like back in like 17, 18, 19, 20, where you get fired from one company, everybody blackball you from working for another one, That was, I don't know if it's still the same, but that was a thing. Flying Patty said Country is a Care Bear. He's the one with the rainbows on it, you know, and the little clouds at the end. That's what Country is. Newman Attack said, I used to work in the oil field. We never got private rooms, same as the military. No offense, but get over it. Hey, trucking is a grown man's job. I mean, they got some women in it too, obviously, because you know it's not like it's male dominated, but there are women in it. But you know, sometimes you gotta toughen it up. Let's see. Can I clear this out? Let me remove this. Okay, let's back on it. Say Bad Badger. Said Prime makes you share a room. I roomed with fails. My roommate failed the P test, then got sent home and stole my tablet. Well, did you ask Prime to give you money back for your tablet? Because I'm pretty sure they didn't even care about I'm pretty sure they don't even care about that either. But hey, that's kind of messed up. Doing drugs and stealing your tablet, man. They had a crackhead in the room with you. That's crazy, dude. I mean, he had to pay for his bus ticket home one way or the other, because we know these companies, once you fail a drug test, they're not paying for you to get home. They just kick you out until you find your way home. So, you know, that's nasty work right there, if you ask me. That report follows you. Oh, man. Listen, if there's one thing that we must all protect is our DAC report, because that DAC report can make or break you anywhere you go in this industry, man. Turning in trucks, wrecking trucks, all that stuff, tickets, all that stuff gets reported on your DAC report, man. You got to keep that thing clean. It got to be cleaner than my nose right now, because my nose is mad stuffy, yo. But your DAC report is like your holy Bible, man. You got to keep that thing squeaky clean. That way nobody gets to mess with you. Imagine grossing 9,100, take home 2,100 is nasty word. Hey, we was talking about that earlier, because about that truck community live with that one guy. He thought he was doing, I guess he thought he was doing something when he sent them when he sent them their settlement, and they straight clowned him for that money that he made off of that. And again, that goes to what I was talking about earlier, where I don't want to show my settlement, because there's nothing but negativity. Nobody cares about how much money you make. You just know that you're not making enough for them. You know, somebody will always say something. Let's see. Loyalty said, facts. Western was ruthless, bro. Like, they care less about drivers. They're not professional in my eyes, almost. Made me say fuck trucking as a whole. Hey, listen. These men, like, is I believe Western Express, one of those companies that takes SAP drivers, right? And the way I feel about any company that takes SAP drivers, just know they're gonna I know I'm going off topic here, but I'm talking about SAP drivers. That's another red flag that I'm gonna throw up there as well too. Is that they're gonna work you like a slave, because they know that, because you know you need to get back on track and you need to get your programs finished, and they know you need to get your program finished, but they're gonna make you work like a slave for you in order for you to get back on track after that stuff, man. That program ain't no joke. Getting caught with anything in your system and getting put on SAP is literally like a death sentence, because I personally ain't gonna work for nobody for no $200 for no $200 a week if I get hit with the SAP. It ain't working. I might as well go ahead and say, let me go somewhere else, because it's not worth it at all, man. You can challenge a DAC report and you're likely to succeed, but drivers rarely do, and the carriers know it. Well, Newman, spread some more information on how to do that, man, because I didn't even know that you could. I thought it was just general consensus. Once it's under, it can't come off. But hey, you might be teaching us something new today. Rio says accurate kick out when I quit Western day in I was stuck in VA for 2 weeks on the streets. Wild humans for that. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. They don't care. Once they release you, you're not their responsibility after that. And that goes for any company out here. Even as an owner operator, at least if you lose your contract as an owner operator, you got your own truck. At the very least, you got somewhere to sleep. You know, make sure that when they terminate your contract, you got a full tank of gas. At least try to make it close to home as possible. If you're too far out, something like that. You know, John T is finally in here. Man, we got 15 minutes to go. You showing up now, John T, man? Good evening. How you doing, man? It's just me tonight. So I hope I gave y'all guys an entertaining evening. I hope we got some information out of the stuff that we got here. But man, I appreciate you guys sticking around. And it's just me for the night, guys. Man, I really do appreciate that. Meryl Wood says, Super Ego is the best thing pop right. Hey, listen, man. You about to make me talk shit about Super Ego, man, because y'all already. Hey, if you can take a hint, if you can take a hint, right? That's all I'm gonna say. If you can take a hint, okay. SAP equals consequences for your actions. I give no pity if you can't guard your livelihood. Here's my thing about SAP, right? Unpopular opinion, popular opinion, it don't matter. You know that you working on Fed time, you get a CDL, you're on Fed time, and you scroll up. It doesn't matter if your state allows you to do recreational drugs or not, and it's legal in your state. You're still under you still fall under. Here I go again. You still fall under federal jurisdiction. So the feds got your ass either way how you look at it. I feel like if you normally do drugs and you get caught with a SAP, bro, just go ahead and throw your license away. Like you did not care enough, you didn't care enough for your job security nor the safety of others, because God forbid you driving around high as hell and then you end up hurting somebody or killing somebody. You might as well go ahead and throw your license in the garbage. Don't come back out here. Is there a chance that maybe they got a wrong test, the test wrong? Maybe the lab technician DNA got into your pee water somehow, and obviously they've been smoking, but you ain't. How hard? I mean, that might be hard to prove too, but still, are there chances that some people get on SAP that shouldn't be on SAP? What are the chances? But at the same time, it's like, if you knowingly know you do drugs, and I've spoken to drivers out here before. Matter of fact, I had this one conversation with this dude several years ago, and this was when I was at MN89, and he worked for Denmark Transportation. I don't know if they're part of Super Ego, but they're all family one way or the other, right? He was working for Denmark Transportation, and so there's a problem with people. People don't know how to shut their mouth, so they let all the beans spill. Man wouldn't know if I was fed or not, right? And if I was wearing a wire, but it was, yeah, they mess with they mess with the logs. I'm making mad bank. When I hear that, all I hear is, oh, they work me like a slave so I can make the same amount of money you do. And then he was telling me about, oh, he had to take a drug test, and his dispatcher would let him know ahead of time if he didn't go take a drug test, so that he wouldn't have to smoke XYZ. Or I thought this stuff was all random, or he'll tell him to go to a certain place, that way he can falsify his drug test. Yes, there are people out here who say these things, and a lot of people don't know how to shut their mouth, and they'll tell you like it is, But yeah, I had conversations with not just him, but like 2 or 3 other drivers that speak the same thing. And the funny thing is, they all work for these Eastern European companies. Every single one of them that I've talked to that had conversations like, they all work for these Eastern European companies. Now, I'm not saying all the Eastern European companies are bad, but when you got what happens when you put spoiled meat in the rest with the rest of the meat, the whole thing spoils, right? Same thing with trucking. When you have these bad Eastern European companies, They spoil it for the rest of the other Eastern European companies and the American companies and the Mexican companies and so on and so forth. So when do we see the couch again? What are you talking about? It's oh, my light's off. Let me turn it off so you can see the couch. Let me see. See the couch? The couch is right here. I've been sitting in it the whole time. You can tell. Let's see. Meryl Wood says, listen, I'm relaying what Lance said from Super Ego. Oh man. Lance, that guy is funny, man. I haven't seen him make a video in a while. I don't know if he made a video in a while. I mean, after that whole Cam the Trucker situation, it seemed like he went real quiet real quick. So I don't know about him or what he got going on. But shoot. He is something else, boy. Let's see. John T said I had 4 random in 2 years. Well, God bless, and I have not had to do any randoms. And now that I say I'm probably gonna have to do one pretty soon because I just put it out in the air. Other than the fact that if I needed a job, the drug test is all I've ever done. I haven't done any randoms as of late. I think Swift, I probably did 2 randoms at Swift, and that was it. But either way, Bad Badger says LMAO, they're trying to get Fed time. Listen, that's on them. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Only thing MN89 got to offer is Peterbilts and Volvos. They did have Freightliners when I was there, and they were actually fiberglass in the International that had a big old wreck at the top. They literally was in there just piecing that bad boy back together so they can lease somebody into that bad boy. So M89 is special, bro. They special. I will say though, they never played with my logs while I wouldn't say they didn't play with it. They didn't what was it? They wanted my my pre-trips to always be 15 minutes on the dot exactly every single day. And I don't fucking with that. I always did my pre-trips how I did my pre-trips, and I went about my business. They would actually go in and edit my logs to show that I did 15-minute pre-trips all the time. I used to make a big fuss about it. But what they never did while I was there was had me run 2 logs. I never that's one thing I can say about it. They never had me run 2 logs. I was never forced to run 2 logs. I don't know about everybody else, but that was my situation. That was my case when I was there. So other than that, the only time they ever messed with my logs is when they wanted to make sure that I did a 15-minute pre-trip, and that was annoying. So Malwood says, and the Punjabi companies, I don't know, cause other than the fact that they be washing their feet in the shower, in the bathrooms, in the sinks, and they don't actually take a bath, because if you're gonna wash your feet, might as well go ahead and get a shower. I mean, the showers are free. 50 gallons to get you a free shower at the Pilots and the Loves. 60 gallons to get you a free shower. But for some reason, they don't want to fill up enough to get a free shower. They just want to go wash their foot in the sink, and it's disgusting. It's like the nastiest thing ever, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, people gotta wash their face and brush their teeth. And what's up with the water bottle in the toilet? That's what I really want to know. Like, what are they doing with that? I've been asking, but nobody wants to tell me what they do with the water bottles. Because I'm always finding water bottles in the back of the damn toilet when I'm at the Loves, especially at the Loves and the Pilots. It's always water bottles back there, man. It's crazy. You're doing a fine job running the solo tonight, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate that, guys. I really and truly do, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was a little nervous about it, but last week I pretty much, technically when I did the live last week, I pretty much ran solo itself too. I mean, I had James there with me, but I guess I did the same thing. So, did you were in Las Vegas with Emily? Yes, I was. Matter of fact, I got to Vegas, right? It was hot as hell. Mind you, there's no APU on these trucks, so whatever, right? And I couldn't get a load out, right? It's been a whole day already done past. It's hot as hell. I'm burning fuel like a motherfucker. And I think that's the day I decided to quit. I ain't actually quit that same day. I just applied to Swift the same day. The next day, I was still there, stuck. Didn't have no load, no whatsoever. Swift paid for an Uber for me to go get a drug test in town, and by like the week afterwards, I was up out of there, man. That was crazy, man. In Vegas, 113-degree weather. It was hot as hell. I think it even got hotter than 113 degrees, man. It was something, man. Let's see. Merrill Wood said, "How does Schneider Cash Advance work with owner ops?" I wouldn't know because I never used their Cash Advance system. Never utilized it. I just did my loads, got paid. So maybe somebody else who's been leased to Schneider might be able to tell you that, but I couldn't tell you. Let's see. Call out the nastiness. We need public shaming to end the bullshit. I am one for public shaming. You know, there used to be a day when you could tell people like it is, and not everybody would cry about it. They would actually fix the attitude that they had about the whole situation when they got called out for it. Nowadays, everybody's so goddamn PC. It's crazy, man. Yeah, they're worse than PC Principal off of South Park, if you ask me. Oh, shoot. But yeah, all that stuff is freaking disgusting. Like, come on. Anybody can tell me what's up with the water bottle in the back of the toilets though? Like, I really would like to know. Matter of fact, I seen a dude this morning. I don't know if he was Punjabi, but he did sure look like one of those guys, and it's not trying to be racist or anything like that. But he literally filled up the water bottle and went into the toilet. I don't know what he used it for. That's crazy. Let's see. Bad Badger said it's a bidet. They squirt their butts to clean. Yo, so what? Are they allergic to toilet paper or something? I get it. I mean, but are they allergic to toilet paper? I mean, you use the toilet paper to pat. I'm pretty sure they probably use it to pat, right? You gotta pat it dry, because like who the hell squirts their ass and then fucking walks out with a with a squishy butt? I guess. Rick Pick says, "Yeah, you're doing just fine, but kind of miss your sidekick." Man, hey, he's gonna have a fit about being called being called a sidekick, man. And I appreciate you, Rick Pig, man. I really do. Let's see. Merrill Wood says, dude in the truck stop had his Jake brakes on in Milford, Connecticut, off of exit 40. What time of day was that? If it was in the daytime, sure, no problem. 2 o'clock in the morning, big issue right there. I mean, that's probably one of the asshole moves that anybody with a hood truck can do, is just roll through the truck stop at 2 o'clock in the morning with their Jakes on. Other than that, I love hearing Jake brakes. Jake brakes are awesome. Okay, they're fun. If my truck sound like a kitten when I put the engine retarders on, compared to all these other trucks out here, because man, Jake brake sounds are freaking, I don't know. It's music to it. It's an ASMR for me, you know. It said use it to clean their asses. Well, I guess. I mean, you want to make sure you get every single brown stain out of you, I guess. But there's still toilet paper, so I wonder if they're even using that. And Merylwood said that was at 2:45 a.m. Well, it's definitely a jackass for that one. Speaking of, how many Western Express trucks have passed by here since we started talking about Western Express? Matter of fact, the truck stop where I'm at, it's what I call it. I'm at a Love's, right? And it's pretty much packed. I came in at like 4 o'clock and it was like mad packed, right? So I parked over to the side over here. I wasn't directly in front of the scale, but I was well far enough, because it's a big wide open space that if you needed to come like me, it wouldn't bother you. The next guy pulled up next to me, and then I go inside and I hear, "Oh, to the Landstar truck that's blocking the scale, you can't park there." I know I wasn't. I know I was not blocking the scale, but I knew they was talking about me. So I'm like, okay, well, where the hell am I supposed to park? Because I'm all out of hours. I ain't going nowhere. Apparently, they told the guy next to me to park and block the shop. Cause I guess the shop's in repair. I thought the shop was working, but he was like, yeah, just pull up next to me and then we'll just call it a day. I done pulled up and I done left. Couple hours later, there's a Western Express truck that's parked right in the same spot where I was. He's not blocking not necessarily blocking yeah, he ain't really blocking it. But a bobtail decided that he was going to be smart enough and park in front of Western Express, and he's literally blocking the scales now. So I don't know. We'll see how that works. Anyway, let's see. Walk out with noisy Jakes are gay. Not sorry. Listen, at 2 in the morning, I can understand. That's pure dick move right there. But man, going down the highway and let off Jakes, man, that's pure noise right there. Anyways, I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in tonight. You know, I was just here by myself, and you guys have made it. You guys made it something different for me tonight, man. So I thank you guys. Tune in next Sunday. James, hopefully he'll be back then. If not, you'll have me again, and we'll just figure it out moving forward from there. But don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Life on 18 Wheels. Subscribe to my TikTok, Life on 18 Wheels. That's the same name. X, Facebook, Instagram, you know, all the jazz. And you know, if you are not subscribed, also subscribe to the Fly Rabbits YouTube channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys for showing up tonight, showing me love. Good night, and I will see you guys next week.